I agree with Nico. Anime will save the world. Now, if only politicians could listen to them, then maybe things would have been nice. Although technically they will also learn violence of it all. The question is more, what can truly save the world in anime is depending on what you are willing to listen to in anime. The Eden Zero chapter 63. First up, a cover page of Sister. She is the Sister's Forest is her clinic. No idea what that means. Such a potty mouth, but her skills are number one. I guess that is meant to say that she's secretly a friend to all things, but she has a potty mouth. Well, she talks like a man. Well, regardless, what makes this chapter a little bit better is that they have emergency clothes in this place, which is good. Weiss, after all, as you all know, ended up stark naked, much to Rebecca's embarrassment. And she suddenly, as when Weiss says to Rebecca to borrow her skirt, she suddenly remembers that the old guy Paul stole her panties. Yeah, some embarrassing fan service of it all. Although all the rest of the gang just congratulate him for what they have done and says that there are some emergency clothes in a way. Weiss, in this moment, finally asks what about Valkyrie, Shiki and Homura. Elsewhere, Shiki is still struggling against Madame Kurenai as it's revealed that his, as you will know, I actually forgot this, but his gravity ether gear allows him to change the weight of things. That includes even living things and inorganic things, but he cannot change the robot because it's coated with ether. Once again, another implication of that, we still have no full information on what ether gear is. Well, we have gotten information, but it's not exactly an information per se 100% how it explains, although I have a feeling it still is to our own imagination on how it works. My point is, ether can counter other ether, and vice versa. And it seems like the robot is coated in a high dosage of ether, so meaning that Shiki's ether gear power cannot affect it as much because it's well protected. So Shiki gets creative and instead makes the ground heavier, and they all crash into the slums, much to Kurenai's anger. And here she truly has her villainous breakdown as Shiki makes his own body heavy and throws the robot into the ground and says that I brought you here. It's during this moment that Kurenai asks if all of this just for a daughter to have a wonderful reunion with his mother or her mother. He says this is Valkyrie's soul. Of course, Madame Kurenai do not believe that robots have a soul. It's that the thing is here that how do we put this in words? I mean, as I said before, Madame Kurenai is scum and all that stuff, but she is almost scum to the point of delusionness. Or maybe she is delusion, but the fact that she suddenly begins to have a scream about robots cannot feel love. Granted, a lot of people have that feeling. In fact, if I met a robot in real life, I would be very wary of that robot, because I'm not sure if that robot would feel emotion or even want to destroy the world. So she proclaims that you're making this world a terrible place with that delusion and idealism. You got to see reality. But in this world, it is shown that robots can have emotions and feelings. So Shiki gathers all of his power into his punch and says, do adults who look at reality make this world a better place? And punches the robot and actually creates a dent in it, showing once again that Shiki has enormous potential of becoming a dangerous threat. Yes, that includes Draken Yo. Of course, it is also noted that he sacrificed his own hand to punch that. So unless Eden Zero gets captured by Draken Yo, then Sister can heal that. But I guess it's all a way to see. The strange thing is that Madame Kurenai says here he nullified my ether gear with his punch. It's not even been stated yet if she has an ether gear. She only seems to have machines that can do this. But yes, what I mean by delusion is the fact that Madame Kurenai seems so very adamant of admitting where she did not come from. And that's the kind of delusion I'm saying she lives. She proclaims herself a god, a divine being, and always looked down on the slum, despite the fact that she was in the slum herself, and very likely a sex slave once upon a time. So in a way, it seems that all of her talk about this is a fruiting excuse about she refuses to admit where she really came from, and that is that she is no one special. She is someone who stole things and took others' kindness for granted. Truly a scum, I guess. It's the fact that Shiki is the one who says, "You're not making this world better, to say the least. Just take a look at these slums." Shiki can be wise when he wants to. So yes, finally Rebecca and the Wise can change as Rebecca enters a battlesuit. We see a nice side boob of it all. She tells Wise about Valkyrie's situations, and he feels sad about that. So now Rebecca has entered a battlesuit. He sees to move in. Happy can unfortunately not move because he's not replenished of the ether, but then suddenly Nino appears. Despite all of his reluctance in doing this, he's still doing this because he's following orders. He's shocked to see Rebecca, but he has locked the door of this armory and says that I cannot let the rebels have this all. So, and he says he is still the Crimson Level woman servant, and still says the enemy will save the world. Despite, I've noticed that his ears are surprisingly pointy. Is this once again to show that the aliens are the bastards in this manga? Come on, just give us some alien allies already. Because they exist in real life. Granted the fact that Rebecca do not like the fact that what Madame Kurna is doing is more sinful than the people here they claim have sins. So, but he only says that it's the Crimson Woman's power or something like that. So Rebecca claims that if I'm taking out these guns, Nino suddenly summons forth 4 additional muscular arms. It's not exactly known if that is an ether gear though, but because according to Pino, they are either cybernetic arms, apparently implying that they are science, not sorcery, I guess we could say. Although it's still not exactly answered on how he could hide those arms, but I guess it's to hide his anime, notice of the fact that, an anime guy always punches. So, and his arms are surprisingly muscular when we actually look at it, even his original arms, as he enters serious modes. The Atoko is not to be messed with. And says that if you don't fight, you won't be able to save the universe. Yeah, Nino is a very strange guy, but then again, he is right that anime will save the world, and I'm not sarcastic when I'm saying that, despite the dull tone of my voice. But yeah, Madame Kurna keep being scummy, but it seems also that the author is almost making it like he's trying to redeem her, almost making her appear to be a delusional woman that doesn't even know right from wrong anymore, although I highly doubt about that. The fact that Shiki wounded the robot, even if it was only a dent, is a sign of his potential, even if he did sacrifice his arm. But I think him sacrificing his arm is also a key. Now Shiki is in the slums, and Homura still hasn't recovered from everything else. Now would be no better time for Homura to enter, because now they are in the slums. So, and Shiki got his arm wounded, but we still have the final guard to deal with. Rebecca will have to deal with and Ether Gear. Well, we still don't know the power of Ether Gear or even the status of Eden Zero, but things will move on as they want to. I just cannot wait for the next chapter, even though it was just released. Almost I'm feeling, Give me your thoughts if you have any.